morning. Welcome to fourth grade reading and writing. I'm so excited to see you. We've had such a good year already, and we're going to look back at 2020 and we're going to look ahead at 2021 and compare and contrast them for a little bit of fun and a little bit of perspective. All right, so while I share my screen, go ahead and make sure you have your journal and your pen or pencil so that you can write. And I know we're doing a lot on the computer, but we also need to be writing to use these muscles in our hands and make sure they don't, get too lazy, and we'll keep working on our handwriting. So we kind of need both. We need the computer skills, but we also need to be writing things out. All right, can't wait to see you. Get yourself ready. Okay, so many great things. Well, today is the week of January 11th, and we are going to recognize characteristics and structure of informational text, including organizational patterns. We're specifically focusing on compare and contrast. So when you look at compare and contrast, we have what's different on the outside, we're contrasting, and what's alike in the middle, right? What's similar, what's alike. What's similar and what's alike. So our purpose is once again to see how they're alike or different. And then we have these great transition words. So but and however and in contrast are on the different side. Alike would be similar, both, alike, also, and to, things like that. All right, I want you to go ahead and warm up with our word warm up. Let's see how many errors there are. And go ahead and divide your paper into 4 boxes. And I'm going to give you 3 or 4 minutes to work on this. Make it bigger for you. Slideshow from current slide. So, fold your paper into 4 quarters. And number 1, go ahead and write it down as it is and then correct it. Today, I am focusing on what the new year will bring. There are 3 errors in this one. See if you can find them. And then rewrite these in alphabetical order. Okay, and remember when you're alphabetizing, you're going to go by the first letter, then you move to the second and the third letters. All right, I'm going to check back in with you and we'll see how we're doing, and we're going to move to the brainstorming together. So for our 3 errors, I want you to go ahead and turn and talk to someone in the room and tell me what you think you found. right, you're right, you're right. So we have right now, today, we need to start a sentence off with a capital letter. So that would be a capital, and we would make that, I'll go ahead and make it, I'll draw it. I'll make it a capital T. When we do capitals, I'm teaching everyone the revising and editing typical punctuation, the revising and editing proofreading sheet, proofreading skills. So 3 letters underlined means it's a capital. And you're right, I. When you're alone, when it's an I alone, it's also a capital. So today I am focusing on what the new year will bring. At the end of the sentence, you're correct. It needs a period. And then you circle the period when you're adding it. So that's part of our punctuation rules. Next, we're alphabetizing. So as we alphabetize, let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger for you. As we alphabetize, I want you to think about, we're going down first to the first letter. So we can go, and I'll change it to the draw feature. Start with green. Okay, so I go A, B, C, D. Oh, here's a B. So B, bold, is going to go there. So bold, insert text. Let's draw. And I'll put bold. That's right. Now, we'll strike that out. Bold. A, B, C. What's next? What's next? You're right. What's next is C. A, B, C. So we know caption is going to be next. So I'm going to type in caption. Okay. C-A-P-T-I-O-N. Next, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. Up. H is before I. So I know heading is going to be next. G-A-D-I-N-G. And now it's between italics, illustration, and illustrator. Let me see if I can make these even bigger so we can see them a little better. Okay. Italic, and I'll have to move this little guy down. There we go. Okay. So we did bold. Cross these out. We did caption. We did bold caption, and we did heading. So now we're down to italics, illustration, illustrator. So the first letter is an I. And I'm going to pick a new color, and I'll go, okay, I, what's next? Okay, I. Then it's A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L. L. So we're between this one and this one. I, L, L. Okay, we need to keep going. I, L, L, L. Now what's next? U is the same. S is the same. T is the same. R is the same. A is the same. T is the same. So these are all the same, but then it goes to I or O, which is first. You're right. I is first. Right there. That means illustration goes here. That means illustrator goes there. And last, you get IT because you've got the T. So the italics goes there. It's last. Okay, now this skill helps you so that you can look up words in the dictionary. You can be proactive, look up things in an index. You're using your alphabetizing skills. You can Google things, but that's not the same. You need to be able to thumb through and use the guide words and understand alphabetical order on your own. All right, let's go back to the PowerPoint. Oh, okay, now we're going to do this part together. What I want you to do is write down memorable moments from 2020. So go ahead and draw a big circle on your paper and a little circle and put 2020 inside. Do the same. We're going to do the same. So let's start with that. I'm actually just going to give us 1 minute. 1 minute. And you're just right. So 2020 involves. And then 2020, keep going, 2020. So started January in person. What else did we do? We had the pandemic. My gosh, pandemic. We never heard about this thing. Had to go to virtual school in spring. How wild was that? What else are people doing? Wearing masks. We've got masks, sanitizer. MS Teams or whatever, Zoom, everybody's on Zoom. And then we have people at home, right? A lot going on in 2020. And of course, we had a lot of other things. We had the George Floyd, we had a lot going on with our civil rights as well. We had civil rights reboot, civil rights changes. We had George Floyd. We had a lot of tragedies. George Floyd, there's a lot of fear, a lot of things happening. George Floyd and others. We had sick people. We had a lot of anxiety. We had laws needing to change. Okay, to protect civil liberties. So we've got all of those different things in 2020. Now, let's go over to 2021. And I want you to think about what can you, beginning with the end in mind, write our goals or resolutions for 2021. By the way, I want to go back to 2020. I saw students became tech savvy, right? Students are all becoming tech savvy. They're learning a lot online. I'm going to put some more positive, learning a lot online. They're becoming, the families and communities are amazing, right? Families and communities work together, family, parents, teachers working together, a lot of working together with education. Education, okay. In the interest of time, I have to keep going, education. Now, over here with 2021, what's it going to bring? Write goals and resolutions for 2021. Well, we know in January of 2021, I want everyone to go ahead and brainstorm 30 seconds, and then I'll add some more things in. Okay, some face-to-face, some virtual. We started January in-person hybrid teaching for many schools. Some students are virtual, some face-to-face. We have a vaccine. We have knowledge that the pandemic is ending. Pandemic will end. And they're saying we'll have most people vaccinated by October of 2021. We have students advocating for their learning. Okay, you get the idea? You've got all of these things. So now what we're going to do is advocating for learning. All right, we're going to go ahead and compare and contrast the two. So what I wanted to show you is we were doing with compare and contrast, you're using words like all sorts of things. We did this last time. Let's see. Let's go back here. So we have our text structures. We're doing compare and contrast. There's other ones too, like description, sequence and order, all of that. We're not working with that right now. But compare and contrast means you've got, shows how things are alike or different. Keywords. Compare in the middle means both, alike, like, also two, similar and common. So if you were comparing sharks and dolphins, we said both swim in the water, Both have fins, right? So that's where they're similar. But in contrast, what's unlike, different, in contrast, instead, however, although, on the other hand, these are keywords for contrasting, how they're different. Well, sharks scare people, unlike dolphins who attract people in the water, right? So you're setting up this: sharks can scare people because they can kill people. But however, dolphins, or on the other hand, dolphins are playful and sporty in the water, and people love to be around them if they can see them. So you're comparing and contrasting. So what we're going to do now with ours, looking at my time, is we're going to set up 2020 versus 2021. Okay, so how can we compare and contrast 2020 and 2021? So both 2020 and 2021, or 2020 and 2021, are similar because, let's try that. So both 2020 and 2021, you go back a slide, have what? Oops. Both 2020 and 2021 and look at it, what you have the pandemic, right? You can write something like that. Both 2020 and 2021 have virtual students and in-person students. You've got similarities there. So both 2020 and 2021, and however you want to write it, you're looking at yours, and you can fill it in, involve virtual teaching and all students with tech, right? And HISD provided all students with tech. So 20 involved virtual teaching, and HISD provided all students with tech, which is really remarkable. HISD has been amazing that way. And I'm going to put HISD provided all students with tech at their homes. Amazing. And I need a period here, waiting for my little cursor to come back. Okay. So they both invite, and I have and. When I say and, HIC provided all students with tech, we have a sentence that's a compound sentence. So both 2020 and 2021 involved teaching. I'm having a lot of trouble with my mouse suddenly. Just do a draw, comma. It's not letting me do it. I'm going to go up. Teaching. I'm going to put comma, and HISD provided all students with tech. And means we've got, it's similar again. I'm trying to highlight it, and it's not happening. It's not going to let me. Okay, so you've got that. In contrast, you could say 2020 was the year of old news, the past, fear. But 2021 brings hope, a future, right? 2021, so 2020 was the year of fear, illness, a lot of things. But it's also the past. Fear, pandemic. But 2021 brings the future. Working together, collaboration, hope, the future, collaboration, etc. In January of 2020, we began the school year in person. However, in January of 2021, how'd you begin it? We began the school either virtually or face-to-face or hybrid teaching, right? Okay, so these signal words really help you set up the compare or the contrast. So for your exit ticket, what I want you to do is write down 2 more sentences, one that compares 2020 and 2021, so how they're similar using those keywords, and then also setting up one where you're contrasting the two. How are they different? Well, I hope you had fun today and learned a few things about text structure. I'm so glad to see you, and I've really enjoyed visiting you each week. And you're amazing, and just want you to know we're all here with you. Parents, guardians, family members, teachers, students are all working together this year, and I have to say the collaboration, the gratitude, the amazing synergy of our community of learners and families and parents and teachers all together is inspiring, is nothing but inspiring. And you're part of your pandemic pioneers. You're this first generation to go to school like this, where you're in the pandemic, and you'll always be able to write about it. You'll always be able to refer to it, and you're going to have people in 20 years asking you, what was it like? Was it easy? Was it hard? What were the challenges? And I want you to go back to your notebook where you're saving your notes and say, well, you know what? There were some challenges. It was a little hard, but I learned that I can mess up and try again. I learned I can say, I don't know how to do this, and try again. I learned that my teachers messed up. They weren't good at the tech, all the tech at first, or maybe they were awesome, but they felt anxiety around it. And I learned I could help my teachers also. And that I learned that the adults, my parents might have, or guardians might have been confused by all the tech and all the links. And I learned that I could help them. Do you realize you're amazing? You've already learned so much. You're the most mature group of fourth graders I've ever seen. Because you've been in the fire and you forge character in fire. All right? And you've got it. And I want you, whenever you're in doubt, please say, I can do this. I can do this. I can reach out and ask for help if I'm confused. I can help someone else because I bet they might be confused, and say, I actually know a lot. And if something feels overwhelming, break it down into smaller bits and say, well, what can I do? Or where am I confused? Let me figure it out. And be the problem solvers that you already are. Maybe the biggest lessons this year in fourth grade is that you learn you just can keep going. If it feels tricky, it's okay. The adults are making mistakes. They're figuring it out. I can make mistakes. I can try. That's a beautiful thing. Anyway, take care. I think this is my last lesson with y'all. So love y'all. I loved my time with you, and really proud of our fourth graders. I can't believe I'm getting emotional. Okay, bye.